Beach for Europeans only. Annika is starting to get used to those signs. She and Grethe have decided to treat themselves to a few days at the seaside. Upon arriving at the coastal town of Port Elizabeth, they dutifully head straight to the area reserved for whites and rent sun lounges and an umbrella for whites, stretching out in the sun next to her friend. Annika wonders what would happen if she jumped into the water, joyfully splashing everyone, whites, blacks, Indians, and mixed-race people alike. Wouldn't that be wonderful? Annika enjoys being around water. During European summers, when she went on holiday, she and her friends would rent pedal boats. And there was always some suitor who would take her on a boat ride. She used to wear a draped sundress that highlighted her tan. She brought it with her to Joburg. But the boys she'd like to wear it for can't take her out on a boat, nor can they splash each other at the shore or rent a pedal boat together. They can meet and have a drink in the gray zone, but even that is frowned upon. Because any spy, any informant, could report them. This is the separation. Annika realizes that she would love to go boating with Ray, to sit on the same bench, walk on the same sidewalk, to be able to touch each other. Grethe, the young woman suddenly asks, why is that black woman sunbathing on the whites-only beach? What kind of question is that? Annika is suddenly surprised at herself. She asked the question with a resentment that didn't belong to her. She's a nanny, Grethe explains, following the direction of her friend's gaze. She can be on the whites-only beaches if she's looking after white children. You know, Adrian had a black nanny when he was little. Annika responds absent-mindedly. At that moment, she doesn't care about Adrian's nanny's skin color. Then, she snaps back to herself and wonders what is happening to her. She had been reflecting on everything that the boy she is thinking about cannot do. That's what's happening to her. He was fond of her. What? Annika asks. Of whom? Annika, hello? Grethe calls her back. I was saying that Adrian was attached to his black nanny. She was the only loving figure in his childhood. Annika nods absent-mindedly. Then she says, Grethe, I think my job contract will become permanent. I was thinking of looking for an apartment to rent. Grethe's face falls. Oh, aren't you happy with us? Of course I am, it's not that. But your home is a married couple's space, and it's not fair for me to be in the way forever. But you're no trouble at all. We don't have kids, and we enjoy your company. Sooner or later you will have children. Grethe's face unexpectedly hardens. If I ever got pregnant, I'd get rid of it. Without regret, Annika gasps. This time she focuses on her friend. Oh, Grethe. What are you saying? You heard me. The damned state owns Adrian's life and mine, but it will never have children from me. Never. Annika stares at her in shock. Her friend Grethe, with whom she shared her childhood in Natal. The one who, in every letter, wrote how impatient she was to marry her. Johannesburg policeman, and have lots of babies. This can't be the same Grethe speaking. What is happening to everyone in this strange country? Annika remembers reading an interview with the Prime Minister. He had expressed disappointment. Despite repeated calls for the white population to have more children, statistics showed that the people weren't listening. And to think that Boer women's fertility was once legendary. Annika turns to study her friend. Then, with a hint of resentment, she says, we exchanged so many letters. You painted a picture of a happy couple. You never mentioned not wanting children, preferring a third wheel in the house rather than being alone with your husband. Grethe's face cycles through all shades of sarcasm. Hint at it? Wake up, Alice in Wonderland! You came to this country thinking you'd find wonders, forgetting that we live under a ruthless regime, and that I am the wife of one of its enforcers! Every piece of mail we sent was screened by censors. Annika lowers her head. Everything was fake then. Everything. Just like the supposed happy state of affairs. Which is anything but happy. Or Annika, please don't leave. Grethe suddenly pleads. Grethe! Annika exclaims. Aren't you exaggerating a little? You know, you don't understand. Adrian is so gentle. How would he cope if he had to kill someone? Oh, Annika is taken aback. Oh, come on. It's possible that a policeman might have to take responsibility for shooting. Nah, you don't understand. Or Grethe repeats. Her friend stares at the sea, then she continues. And when we go out at night with Adrian's colleagues, we are forced to do things. Horrible things. But ever since we introduced you to the chief of police, we've been less involved. They know you're from Europe and worry you might talk to someone. Tell stories that have to remain secret, so they stay away. You're not saying that the police are doing something illegal, are you? What the hell do you do when you go out? Grethe shakes her head. Nothing down here is illegal when it comes to non-Europeans. Adrian says that graduates and those in positions of power are the worst. Grethe suddenly stops. I can't tell you anything else. I shouldn't have even touched on this subject. Annika says, what happened at the police chief's barbecue was... Shh, Grethe shushes her. Make sure that no one, I repeat, no one, hears you criticize someone who has a rank within the police force. Annika assumes that the reprimand is due to Adrian's job and mumbles an apology. Grethe doesn't seem to notice. She quickly looks around, then, sure that she isn't being seen, points to the sign marking the whites-only beach. Know this, she says, the bench is for Europeans only. The curfew only for blacks. The ban on them using our sidewalks, our transport, our venues. Those are trifles, niceties. Then Grethe leans in closer and whispers, the worst part is unseen. But it exists, and it's weeping and gnashing of teeth. Weeping and gnashing of teeth. Annika is under the sun, but she feels frozen. Welcome to the rainbow country. Blue sky, jacaranda blossoms, and the slithering of hatred. But no, it can't be that bad. Grethe must be depressed. Her marriage to Adrian is not going as well as she hoped. It's not easy being married to a policeman in a city like Johannesburg. Grethe spends many hours alone. She is suffering from loneliness and sees everything in a black light. It's the only possible explanation. Annika feels guilty for having announced to her friend that she wants to move out. After all, what's the rush? She doesn't even have a boyfriend. In fact, she doesn't even have a suitor. Annika has to admit that she's building castles in the air over someone, and she'd better stop immediately. Because this has all the makings of an impossible challenge, a house of cards.